Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome. We're delighted to have each and every one of you here at our Spirit of America Salute to Small Business Awards celebration for the year 2020. And as crazy as it might have been and continues to be, thank you so much for being here in person or virtually. My name is Scott Murray, and I'm delighted to be back again to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. This is always very special to me, so thank you, thank you. We're most excited to have each and every one of you join us live, wherever you might be, to celebrate our 2020 award recipients for both the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce Small Business of the Year Awards, as well as the U.S. Small Business Administration's Awards for the North Texas region. We'd like to kick things off by celebrating our great country that we all call home. Please enjoy this amazing rendition of our national anthem, sung by the award-winning Lamar High School Madrigals from the Arlington Independent School District. Ask that you all please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And the rockets
that blast bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Well, certainly thanks in order to the Madrigals of Lamar High School for that wonderful performance, and a special thank you to the Lamar School's choir directors, Greg Hagen, Nelson Romo, and Cassandra Kirby, as well as the audiovisual production team at the Arlington Independent School District for making all of that possible. Well done. Let's give them a well-deserved round of applause. And once again, I'd like to welcome you all to this great event here this noon. I'm truly honored to be here today celebrating small business, especially since I now have a small business of my own with my son since retiring from television news, and I had the opportunity to cover events all around the world when I was a television sports anchor, from the World Cup to the World Series to 35 straight Super Bowls to the Olympics. They were all incredible. However, with all great sincerity, I say to you all, I have to say this is one of my favorite events each and every year because we honor some very special people, as you are about to see very, very shortly. And as I have learned, small businesses are the backbone of our great economy in America, and they certainly need our support now more than ever, every single day. I hope you enjoy the show today, as well as take the opportunity to thank the small businesses in your area that make an impact on each and every one of us by shopping and eating at local restaurants and what have you, and at all of their establishments. For those of you that might be watching virtually today, we're able to broadcast live to you today because of our fantastic sponsors, and we appreciate your support of this event and certainly small businesses all across the great state of Texas. We have a special message for you today from our presenting sponsor, Intego. Let's take a look right now.
Good afternoon. I am Patricia Zelliandia, an SBA Business Development Officer with Texas First Bank and the President of the North Texas Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders, also known as Nintego. Nintego's mission statement is to serve and support the small business lending community of North Texas by partnering with government agencies and their affiliates to further provide training and networking through our associated membership. Intego is an association of lending professionals and supports organizations who utilize the guarantee programs of the Small Business Administration, including SBA 7A, SBA 504, and the USDA. Our members and associates work together to educate the association with the goal of assisting small businesses with their lending needs. Small businesses are the backbone of this economy, as there are more than 30 million small businesses in the United States and employ nearly half of the private sector workforce, create new jobs, and drive innovation in the United States. Today, at the first virtual edition of the Spirit of America Salute to Small Business Awards, we celebrate and honor the success of these small businesses here in the North Texas region, who have had a positive impact on our economy and communities. They are essential because they create jobs and give back to the community in good times and challenging times. It is an honor once again for Intego to be the presenting sponsor of a wonderful event highlighting the recipients of these awards and their success. So on behalf of the Intego board members, officers, and association, congratulations, and may you continue to have great success this year. Please join me in celebrating the small business owners, the staff, and their families of these small businesses. Congratulations.
The Spirit of America Salute to Small Business Award celebration for 2020 is brought to you by today's presenting sponsor, the North Texas Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders, Intego. Our diamond sponsor is Wells Fargo. Our gold sponsor is Baylor Scott & White Orthopedic and Spine Hospital, Arlington. Today's silver sponsors are the City of Arlington, J.P. Morgan Chase, PSK, Stripezone, and the University of Texas at Arlington College of Business. Our bronze sponsors are Frost Bank, MEI Group, the Pantego Economic Development Corporation in the town of Pantego, and Simmons Bank. Our event sponsors are the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, the U.S. Small Business Administration, and the North Texas Small Business Development Center. Thank you to each of you for making today's event possible and supporting small businesses in the spirit of America.
Indeed, thank you to all of our sponsors, members of our incredible team. They make a difference and certainly set the tone for our salute to small business and make it all possible. So thank you to each and every one of them. We've got a packed program for you today, so settle back, including the Greater Arlington Chamber's Small Business of the Year Awards, a small business panel discussion coming up. You'll enjoy that, I'm sure. And then the SBA Small Business Awards for North Texas. So as they say, let's get the ball rolling. Please help me welcome the president and the CEO of the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, our good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Michael Jacobson.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I do want to thank another person, not technically a sponsor, but 1010 Collins, Howard, who's back over here. Thank you for creating this great space for us to be able to do this sort of dual virtual physical event. We appreciate it very much. The Greater Arlington Chamber is honored to be here today, not only as a co-host of this event, but also as a presenter. The Greater Arlington Chamber, to its core, exists to support small and local businesses. We're proud to represent the business community and support them on their business journeys. Before we introduce our Greater Arlington Small Business of the Year recipients, I want to take a moment to implore each of you watching today, be it live or in person, to support local businesses. Remember those businesses and restaurants that have committed to our community and they sponsor your Little League team or your church. Keep them in mind. Support your local businesses. It is absolutely critical. Scott said it earlier, the small businesses are the backbone of not only our country's economy, but also of our communities. So please do not just shop online with large online retailers. There's a time to do that. But support your local businesses. It's critical to do that. And that's, as I say, I want to implore you to do that. I know it's a mandate here in the counties that make up North Texas, but I want to remind you the importance of wearing a mask. By wearing a mask, we keep our economy open and we keep it moving. I don't wear a mask for any sort of political statement. I'm a CEO of a Chamber of Commerce. I wear a mask because our economy matters, our businesses matter. I want to keep the doors open. Masks prevent the spread of this virus. They keep our infection rates low and enable our businesses to remain open. Wearing a mask supports small businesses and secures our economy's future. We are all going to get through this pandemic. I know it's been tumultuous in some ways for everybody, not only the people in this room, but everybody that's watching us. We're all experiencing this differently, but each one of us has lived through this challenge. Together, we preserve through the hard times and we celebrate the good times. We need to support each other, listen to each other, and believe in each other, because together we succeed. I want to thank you for taking a second to listen to me provide that insight. It's important that we have these kind of conversations. Now, I did say we celebrate the good times together, and that's truly why we're here today, to celebrate small business. At the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, our mission is together we champion economic and community prosperity. When we evaluated all of the amazing submissions for our Small Business of the Year awards, it was important that our 2020 recipients reflected our mission and emphasized that word, togetherness. We are honored to celebrate our 4 recipients this year and commend them on their success in business and their amazing impact on our community. To help us celebrate our 4 recipients and serve as a small business hype man. Are you okay being a small business? I know he is, because we chair together a business recovery task force meeting in Arlington, and I know how important buy local is to our mayor. And we say buy, eat, sleep, local. We do that. It's a mantra for us. So I'm going to invite our mayor to come up, Arlington Mayor Jeff Williams, to the stage, and he's going to be here to welcome our award winners. The first recipient we're honoring is for our for-profit Small Business of the Year for 2020. Please welcome to the stage SBL Architecture. SBL Architecture is a group of architects, designers, and planners located right here in Arlington, Texas. Founded in 1994 by James Little Jr. and Michael K. Barnett, the firm is committed to providing high-quality, client-focused services to a diverse range of healthcare and other clients. Throughout their 26 years in business, SBL has been involved in many Arlington area projects: the Arlington Alliance for Children, Arlington Family Practice, Delaware North, Medical City Arlington, Texas Health Resources, the Texas Rangers, USMD Hospital at Arlington, just to name a few. SBL was also involved in the field conversion of Globe Life Park to accommodate football with the Dallas Renegades and the Arlington ISD. Outside the office, SBL is actively engaged with 10-plus Arlington and supporting area charities. Congratulations to SBL Architecture and Jim Little, and he's joined with Jamie Pasilio. Welcome. Next, we'd like to recognize our nonprofit Small Business of the Year for 2020, VetStarts. VetStarts creates development programs for post-military veterans, first responders and their families, and provides career transition classes, marriage workshops, mission trips, and entrepreneurship programs at an important thing, at no charge. VetStarts helps connect, train, coach, and help vets, first responders, and families prepare for and launch a life of continued significance. Established in 2014 by Vince Leone, a decorated combat veteran, VetStarts delivers life-changing, life-saving services to clients experiencing PTSD, trauma, unemployment, homelessness, depression, substance abuse, domestic violence, and those who are also considering suicide. VetStarts has had a remarkable growth, now having reached more than 4,180 veterans while directly serving 463 in our community. The organization currently has 3 offices across the country and is working to be included in the Department of Defense Transition Assistance Program for transforming military service members worldwide. VetStarts works in partnership with the Gateway Church Network, the Reboot Combat Recovery Program, and a variety of Arlington Chamber of Commerce, Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce member organizations. Congratulations, VetStarts and Vince Leone. Next, we want to honor our veteran-owned Small Business of the Year for 2020, the Stoglin Group. The Stoglin Group was formed in 2017 by Chaplain Rich Stoglin, a retired commander of the U.S. Naval Sea Services, of which 23 years were in support of the U.S. Marine Corps. The Stoglin Group consults in the areas of mediation, family mediation, public policy, leadership development, as well as PTSD and law enforcement and critical needs for wellness. One major project for the group was assisting in the Texas Veterans Land Board to acquire land for the construction of a $35 million Veterans State Home. Chaplain Rich Stoglin is a decorated veteran who holds a doctorate of ministry degree from the United Theological Seminary in Ohio. While in the military, he served in campaigns wherever conflict existed. Just prior to his retirement, he was the command chaplain of 39 nations during his tour in Afghanistan. As a volunteer for our community, the chaplain has served on numerous local, state, and national boards. He also holds numerous meritorious awards for his distinguished military service. Congratulations to the Stoglin Group and Chaplain Richmond Stoglin. Our last award from the Greater Arlington Chamber is our Scott Murray Excellence in Media Award. We are very excited to present this year's award, and we have a special guest joining us to do so. Please welcome the Chair of the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, Kelly Fisher, and Chief Financial Officer of the Texas Rangers Baseball Club.
Michael, thank you. What a true honor to be here today. I'm doubly honored. As Michael said, I'm getting to represent the Chamber, an organization so near and dear to my heart, and also the Texas Rangers. I'm here to present the award to John Blake, one of my absolute favorite colleagues that I have worked with for over 20 years. John Blake has been with us or been in baseball for over 40 years. He truly represents excellence in media. In fact, we've had such a tough year. I know we've talked about that. It's been such a challenge. But just a few days ago, it didn't feel tough at all. In fact, it felt way better than even a normal year for just that really special moment with the World Series. And the fact that any of us know anything was going on about the World Series or the postseason at all is because John Blake was involved. He helped make sure that story got out there. It was a big story, and his hands were behind the scenes on everything media related. For the Rangers, he oversees not only just the media, he oversees player relations as well as alumni relations, but he is also an integral part of our executive management team. And it's not a surprise that he's won several awards before. He happens to be in the Texas Baseball Hall of Fame. He has won the Good Guy Award from the Baseball Writers Association. And today's award is equally as special. And I can think of no one more deserving than my friend and colleague, John Blake. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor, for joining us for that section. To John Blake, I would say, I'll add this, is that, you know, when you're from Arlington and you have these big sporting events that happen in Arlington, there's nothing more defeating at times to hear some other city's name mentioned instead of Arlington. So how proud I was watching the World Series and hearing Joe Buck say Arlington. It doesn't happen by accident, I can promise you. So John, thank you. Thank you for keeping us again in the loop on all those Texas Ranger, Globe Life Field, Globe Life Park, everything that's going out there. You couldn't have a better partner than John. Congratulations to all of our Small Businesses of the Year award recipients, to SPL Architecture, Vet Starts, and the Stoglin Group. Now we're going to kick it back over to our host for the day, Scott Murray, for a small business panel. But first, a message from our diamond sponsor, Wells Fargo.
Keeping the kids busy, clients happy, and your money moving? You're unstoppable. With Mobile Deposit and the Wells Fargo mobile app, you can bank without missing a beat. Tuning up your customers' bikes while you tune up the shop? Smooth. And you're keeping up with your account activity? Super smooth. With Wells Fargo Small Business Checking, you can bank without missing a beat.
The Spirit of America Salute to Small Business Award celebration for 2020 is brought to you by today's presenting sponsor, the North Texas Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders, and Tegel. Our diamond sponsor is Wells Fargo. Our gold sponsor is Baylor Scott & White Orthopedic and Spine Hospital, Arlington. Today's silver sponsors are the City of Arlington, JP Morgan Chase, PSK, Stripezone, and the University of Texas at Arlington College of Business. Our bronze sponsors are Frost Bank, MEI Group, the Pantego Economic Development Corporation in the town of Pantego, and Simmons Bank. Our event sponsors are the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, the U.S. Small Business Administration, and the North Texas Small Business Development Center. Thank you to each of you for making today's event possible and supporting small businesses in the spirit of America.
Welcome back again, and yet on another stage, my friends. So welcome, as you all have turned your tables around. Welcome to our virtual world of the pandemic. But we're delighted to welcome each and every one, and I think we would be remiss if we didn't certainly again, congratulate all the people that we just saw on the stage. So let's give them that round of applause and let everybody know that we appreciate it. And I certainly don't want to just focus on anyone in particular, but considering that the Excellence in Media Award has my name on it, and I'm so honored to have received that, been the inaugural recipient many years ago by the Arlington Chamber, I do want to say just one thing about my dear friend John Blake. He's just one of the good guys, and you heard Michael say a few nice things about him, and they were all true. But I met John in 1984 when he came here, almost 40 years ago. And from the day he got here, he was focused, he was committed, he was kind, he was courteous, and he was respectful to everybody he dealt with. Whether it was the home team, whether it was the opposition, whether it was the media, whether it was somebody that he didn't know from Mars. The bottom line is, 40 years later, he's still the same man. So he's certainly deserving of that award, and I'm most honored to have my name on it. But I will say this. When I think about all the things that John Blake has done and what he just did for the World Series being here, I just, above and beyond, can't thank him enough for all that he has done. They're telling me to go to this camera right here. My apologies. So to those of you that have looked at my left cheek for the last 30 seconds, my apologies. But we have all kinds of cameras out here. Wasn't sure which one I was at. But I was speaking to the audience that is out here live here with us. But John, you're a great friend, but you're a good man. So congratulations, and continue to keep up all the wonderful things you do here for certainly Arlington, Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Texas Rangers, and generally just every one of us. We appreciate it very much on behalf of the Chamber. That said and done, I'm going to move on with the program, and I'm most excited to sit down with two previous recipients of the Greater Arlington Chamber. Gentleman to my left owned Small Business of the Year Award, and we're going to talk a little something about what we're experiencing this year and how we move forward next year. Today we are welcomed by Dr. Kenyon Godwin of Active Family Wellness Center and 2016 recipient, as well as Jim Ross of Jim Ross Law Group and 2017 recipient. Gentlemen, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Good.
Thank you. Doing well.
I'm glad you're doing well. Beats the alternative, doesn't it, my friend?
Man,
It sure does. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I think it's great that you continue to come back to this event that is sponsored each year by the Chamber. And we really appreciate, congratulations, first of all, on what you were awarded with a couple of years ago. But thanks for being here today. We have 4 or 5 questions that we thought we would share with our audience here and our virtual audience that is all around, literally, the great state of Texas. My first question is this. For each of you, did receiving this honor mean anything special to you? And I imagine it certainly did. And how about it, and how it might have affected your small business? And secondly, how did the recognition impact your business now as we move forward in all that we're enduring during this pandemic? Who would like to start?
Kenyon.
All
Kenyon?
right.
Okay, go ahead.
You want it first.
Sure. So part of being in the military, you learn this term called being voluntold. So I was just voluntold. So for me, winning the award was definitely an honor. It's not something that I think when you're in business, you're dealing with the day-to-day grind of business and operations. So you don't think about awards. You just try to serve and do the best you can for your community and provide the services. So winning that award was awesome. It was just a very high feeling, and it was a lot of pride associated, not just for me, but when you think about it, it was a major pride issue for my team. You know, this isn't just me and my company. I have a great team and people that support us, so it meant a lot for them, just as much as it did for me. And I think it's important to celebrate with everyone, as well as the people who supported the business, not just by being a patient, or as we call them, a practice member, but even those that pray and give guidance and counsel to you. So that award was not just an award for myself, that was an award for everyone who was involved. And with that comes a lot of opportunity as well as a lot of responsibility, because when you're an award-winning office or award-winning business at this point, then that standard for delivering your services and your products is definitely high. Because if it doesn't go well, then it's like, well, man, you were this winner and I had this experience. And so it does keep fresh in the back of your mind to perform at the highest levels, which I like that kind of pressure. I want to meet or exceed that expectation anyway. But it also, like I said, it's big for your community. It's big for the local community, because when you're recognized by your peers and by other business owners, that's a huge statement. And our citizens recognize that, and they appreciate that as well. And they feel great knowing they're coming to a business that's an award-winning business.
Well, the very fact that you mentioned team, and that's so important, certainly in this world today. So good for you, but it starts at the top. So thanks for all you continue to do and understand that whole concept. Congratulations, and thanks for being here today. Jim, how about you? You stop and think of the award and all it's meant to you, and now as we move forward in the pandemic, just how things have changed a little. But what did that award mean to you initially?
Well, it meant a lot. First of all, it put me in company with people like Dr. Godwin. Just a class act. Besides being a great doctor, everybody that has got to know him knows where his heart is and how well he treats people. Getting in that same company meant a tremendous amount to me. But second of all, it makes us a part of a family. It recognizes that it's service first, and we learned that in the military. And receiving the Veteran Business of the Year sort of acknowledges that for ourselves, for our staff, for our families, for our community. And I'm getting the same wave that you did, Scott, that I need to be looking at the right camera and everything.
They're tired of that left cheek, you know?
Yeah, they are. They'll be tired of the right one before long. So anyway, it meant a lot. You know, being a small business owner, you're a part of a family community.
Right.
Being a veteran, you're a part of that community. And here we're a part of the Arlington community as well. So we took a lot of pride in it. The community recognizes and appreciates your service, and I think in turn, our businesses have benefited from it.
Well, I tell you what, as we listen to what you both had to say about what it was like in 2016, 2017, 2018, now here we are in wrapping up 2020. And as you realize what we all continue to endure with this pandemic, I just wondered how it has affected your business, and what are some of the things that you've had to do, you've been forced to do, to make sure that you stay focused and take care of your clients the way they expect to be taken care of. How about it? What comes to mind, Kenyon?
Well, I mean, you know, this pandemic is a unique thing. Not only is it just a very odd situation that we've all experienced, but it happens to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, the first thing that came to my mind was I just have to trust God. I have to use my faith, because it's one thing if it's something that only happens to me, but this is affecting everyone. And it was a little scary at first. I'm not going to lie. I think March and April were pretty scary for most of us. However, what it did for me was it forced me to now depend on my own values and my beliefs. So I'm either going to be a victim of this pandemic, or I'm going to have to figure out a way to adapt and still do well in business. And that's what I chose to do. So using innovation and technology and doing some things like webinars and just changing our business model around to adapt to the situation allowed us to, you know, honestly, in July and August, we had our best months ever in 10 years of practice. July and August was just extraordinary, but a lot of that came from my team and I, you know, keeping our boots down on the ground. I'm a veteran, so I have to put in some military colloquialisms to make sure that we could still strive towards our goals and serve people. And I think that's what you have to do today. You can't rely on the strategies that happened that you used before. even up to this year, you're going to have to change some things in order to stay relevant and engage with your customer or client base.
Spot on, staying relevant. That's what it's all about, no question. Thank you, Kenyon. Jim, what comes to mind? You heard what Kenyon had to say. What comes to mind for you and how you've been able to take care of your clients day to day?
Well, I agree with Kenyon. The first thing was the little fear factor of what are we going to do about our businesses, about all of our employees, about our family. How are we going to provide for everybody? And as a business owner, you feel a huge sense of obligation to make sure that those people who rely upon your business to survive are going to be taken care of. I own a restaurant in addition to the law firm, and when the pandemic hit, my restaurant was shut down. I am not a chain restaurant owner. I can't rely upon other restaurants to help me out with that. So we had to shut it down, lay some people off. We kept a small staff around, and we began to slowly open up. I've been blessed by the fact that we had the ability to financially survive and take care of the people who worked for us for a long time. That's the motivation for me getting through the pandemic, is what can we do to make a difference and to tell people it's going to be okay. So for the law firm, parts of it would decrease, parts of it would increase. We did family law, for instance. People realized they may not want to live with the person they've been cooped up with now for months on end, you know. So that increased a little bit, but we still got through. We purify every week. We hired a company that comes in and sprays our entire restaurant, sprays our entire law firm down. We took extra measures. We are actually the only restaurant in the entire state of Texas who was accredited through the Global Biorisk Advisory Council. And so we're proud of that. And we took those extra measures. So keeping our employees in a position that they can take care of their family was a huge driving force.
Very good. I've got a couple of other questions I've been given here. This first one, Jim, let's go to you here, and then we'll come back over to the good doctor. Your business has specifically grown from just a small law firm owned by a former Arlington police officer to being the official law firm of the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Stars, and the Dallas Wings. In fact, your name was all over ESPN internationally when the Angels, Joe Adell, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And Nick Solik, the fly ball went out of his glove and then over the fence in front of the extremely large Jim Ross Law Group sign.
Yeah.
Pretty good advertising, pretty good spot for it to be.
Not bad.
Well, what does it mean to you personally to see your business grow so exponentially? And what would you like to say to the small business owners watching today who aspire to have that kind of great success and a little luck along the way in that ball game, huh?
It was a little bit of luck on that thing, and wouldn't you know, I'd be the guy that has to get the exposure from someone else's mistake. Okay?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But that's okay. I'm not the best lawyer in the state or in the city, or that's not what I do really well. We're good lawyers. We do stuff, but what's important is how you build those relationships. I'm the only law firm that the Rangers decided to partner up with, and the Rangers approached me and said, hey, would you be interested in this? They didn't do that because of anything I did spectacular as a lawyer. They did that because we had a good relationship and they knew what our firm was about. And from that came my relationships with the Stars and the Mavericks and the Wings and everybody else. It's been a lot of fun. It's been really cool to be the only lawyer that they'd really be interested in partnering up. And when you speak to organizations like the Rangers and the Mavericks and the Stars and all of these, they'll tell you they're not interested in partnering up with any company that diminishes the credibility and respect that their organizations deserve. And that brought a lot of pride that they would consider doing something like this with me. And it's been a great partnership. Every one of those organizations have been just incredible.
Yeah, it's always nice when it's a win-win situation, isn't it?
It really is.
Totally understand. Well, Kenyon, let's go to you here. Your business has soared to success in a crowded industry. A lot of your success, and I think in everybody's opinion here, is due to your ability to explain the complexities of chiropractors in simple terms. Now, during the pandemic, let's talk about the pandemic, you've transitioned to social media with really fantastic success. And a lot of people haven't been that fortunate or that lucky. So I just wondered what the message might be and what you would say to small business owners out there that are trying to break through in this digital world that we all currently live in. You've been able to do it very successfully. What do you think the keys were to your great success and those that are still trying to say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I've got to move forward and I'm not sure quite how to do it.
A few things. One, I would say people's attention span is a whole lot shorter today, really short. And so before, we used to be able to get away with posts, and posts are great, writing long posts is great, having a good story. But honestly, people aren't reading long posts anymore. They're just scrolling through very quickly. Most of them are scrolling through quickly because they're supposed to be working from home. So video content is becoming very popular because people are more likely to watch a short video, keyword short, versus reading a long post. Because in a video, I can listen to you. I don't have to read it. I can still work and listen. And so it really comes down to asking yourself a couple of questions. What are people looking for? What are their concerns? What are their needs? How do I line up, well, what services or products do I have that match those needs? And then how do I communicate that in a way that gets their attention and that it's simple? And one of the hardest things about being a specialist, whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, or you make coffee, it doesn't matter what it is. We're all technically, excited about all these little details and things we do, but the average person could care less. They just want to know, can you help me? Do you have what I need? And so getting out of your head and really putting yourself in the position of the person you're looking for and talking to them in their language really goes a long way.
Very good. Good answer. I want the two of you, as I zero in on our final question of the day, we look out at this group that's come here and are here live with us in person, all wearing their masks, socially distanced, as we're all told to do day to day. There are those out there in our virtual world, in our audience, that aren't with us or at their homes or respective business and whatever. So I just thought a closing question for you both. As I look out here, with the mayor and right on down, they're all here, the president of the chamber, and just these are real leaders. These are successful leaders and business folks that understand how to get it done day to day in the professional world. And yet, as we move forward, it's a crazy world that we're wrapping up here in 2020, and what lies ahead in 2021. Everything that we do in this world, we say, oh gosh, I got to get up in the morning at 10 o'clock, I've got to be here, and at 12, and I think this is going to be going on. We don't know next week what's going to be taking place. So just with that in mind, what is the word that you might share with them? The words of wisdom that you might have them all take as we now look forward to 2021 and how they can come together and deal with the pandemic as we all personally are every single day. What comes to mind?
You want me to go first?
If you'd like to go first, sure.
Well, what comes to mind to me are a few things. First of all, congratulations to all the winners out there. A lot of hard work and effort for years have gone into this award this year. This isn't just you've done well this year. So I would say with that, celebrate. Sometimes we're so focused on the uncertainty or what's next. Take time out this weekend, celebrate with your family, celebrate with those who support you, because all of you collectively deserve it and should do that. The last thing I would say as far as, me being asked with wisdom of what to do for next year is very simple. Do the best you can with what you have today and be grateful. As long as you do that, you can't do anything else. I can't do anything about tomorrow or next week, but I can do the best I can today with what God's given me. And so that's what I would leave to you.
Good answer. Jim?
I feel like that's a loaded question because this is a room full of incredible people. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that I could tell these fine folks anything they don't already know, but here's what I know from knowing the vast majority of the folks here. These folks are good at what they do in leading people and organizations because they care and respect people. And that is so critically important during the times of this pandemic that we have leaders in an organization, in the city government, in businesses that understand the respect and responsibility of just caring about people. So if I have any word of advice to anybody at all is, let's take care of each other. Let's do the things that the SBA and the Greater Arlington Chamber did here today, and they practice the social distancing and they're wearing the mask. Let's do those things not because they're politically correct or politically incorrect, but because it's built out of respect and love for one another. And when you do that, you will reap the benefits from your employees, from your family, from your friends, and from your community.
Great answers. Great answers. It made me think of, I do a podcast with a young lady. It's called Creating Champions of Change Through a Changing Culture of Civility. And through courage, commitment, character, compassion, and not confrontation, but conversation. And we've lost the ability to do that. Both of you have shared the importance of conversation, of team, of understand about bringing everybody together and moving forward in a positive, productive way. So that's why you're both seated up here on the stage. And we simply say to you both, thank you, stay safe, be strong, and continue to do all the wonderful things that you do every single day. How about them? Aren't they special? Yes. Well, thank you. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, as we discussed, we encourage each of you to support small business by shopping and eating local. That's what it's all about. So what we'd like to do right now is to celebrate the U.S. Small Business Administration Award winners for the year 2020. And after this commercial break, we welcome to the stage SBA Regional Administrator of Region 6, Justin Crossy. So thank you very much.
The Spirit of America Salute to Small Business Award celebration for 2020 is brought to you by today's presenting sponsor, the North Texas Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders, and Tegel. Our diamond sponsor is Wells Fargo. Our gold sponsor is Baylor Scott & White Orthopedic and Spine Hospital, Arlington. Today's silver sponsors are the City of Arlington, JP Morgan Chase, PSK, Stripezone, and the University of Texas at Arlington College of Business. Our bronze sponsors are Frost Bank, MEI Group, the Pantego Economic Development Corporation in the town of Pantego, and Simmons Bank. Our event sponsors are the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, the U.S. Small Business Administration, and the North Texas Small Business Development Center. Thank you to each of you for making today's event possible and supporting small businesses in the spirit of America.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation to be here this afternoon to celebrate small business. I have to tell you, this is the first live event that I have done in many, many months. I have done many Zoom and Microsoft Live events, but it is unbelievably refreshing to be here in front of a group of live individuals to talk about the accomplishments of our small business community. Herb Austin, thank you very much for ensuring that I received this invitation, and thank you very much for the reminders that it was coming up, and that the reminder that I needed a flight to get here, and the reminder that I needed to make sure my hotel was booked. I can assure you that Herb was a huge advocate in making sure that I was here today. I'd like to just take a moment of personal privilege to thank Herb and his staff here in the Dallas-Fort Worth District Office for everything that they do. From the moment that things started to kind of go sideways in March, the Dallas office, the Dallas-Fort Worth office, has been there. They have stepped up unbelievably. That office has been staffed in some capacity since day one. They are there to assist small business. They were there when people needed answers on where to go for the Paycheck Protection Program. They have been there to offer their assistance and their support to the small business community. I know that there are a couple people from the staff in here right now. If I could just ask you all, Ahmad, Michelle, please stand, be recognized. Herb. Without their hard work, dedication, and support, it would have been much more difficult for the Small Business Administration to offer the assistance that we have. I would also like to thank the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce for the invitation to be here today and for putting together this event. I believe it's unbelievably important for us to recognize small businesses that make such an important contribution to our nation's economy. During National Small Business Week, we celebrate the resolve, the ingenuity of the American businesses. We celebrate her entrepreneurs and we celebrate her workers. America's small businesses are the very core of our national identity, our prosperity, and it's important that we take a moment to recognize and to pay tribute to these businesses for the contributions that they make not only to our national economy, but to the local economies in which they find themselves conducting business. This year, as we collectively recover from the unprecedented pandemic, the Small Business Administration remains intently focused on helping every American enterprise remain viable, recover, and once again thrive at the historic levels that we saw prior to COVID-19. The Dallas-Fort Worth District Office covers 72 counties with nearly 900,000 small businesses, which create 2/3 of all new jobs in the area. They are key to our economy and they are key to America's prosperity. Small businesses are at the front and center as we respond to the coronavirus. The Small Business Administration has delivered nearly $750 billion in economic relief to distressed small businesses, entrepreneurs, and their employees. $525 billion alone in the Paycheck Protection Program. In the 68 districts that make up the Office of Field Operations of the Small Business Administration, the Dallas-Fort Worth District Office ranks 7th in the number of paycheck protection loans that were received. There were an estimated 153,000 loans for a total economic impact of $16 billion just in this community alone. That impacts businesses, that impacts the employees, and it allows for those businesses to figure out how to pivot and address a new market environment that we find ourselves in. I applaud all of the small businesses that have weathered this storm, and especially those that are here with us today as winners of the National Small Business Week. Across our country, small businesses have proven that they are essential to our communities, creating jobs and giving back during times of prosperity, and as we have witnessed most recently, giving back in times of challenge. The SBA and President Trump's administration are committed to investing in small business owners and advancing solutions that make it easier for them to exceed their goals and to continue to survive and thrive in this post-COVID world. I'm glad to help celebrate the success of the American entrepreneurs who have charted their own course and provided jobs and bright futures for millions of American workers. The SBA's mission today remains the same as it was prior to COVID, and that is to assist small businesses and the American entrepreneur in starting their businesses and ensuring that those businesses thrive and survive. I cannot stress to you enough how important the resources are that are available through the Small Business Administration, and I would encourage all of you to please visit SBA.gov to find the resources that can help you weather this storm and thrive in the future. As we did prior to COVID, we do now. We stand ready to assist the American small business and the American entrepreneur. Again, I would like to thank you all for having me today. It is an honor to be here. It is an honor to recognize the accomplishments that each and every one of you have made. At this time, I would like to welcome to the stage Mr. Herb Austin and Mark Langford as we present the SBA Small Business Awards. Thank you again for having me. It's my honor to be here.
Thank you, Justin. It's great to be here. It's great to see everyone. How about a big good afternoon so we can kind of re-energize here for our awards? Good afternoon. There we go. Great to see everyone. Great to see everyone virtually on Facebook. I tell you, the last time I looked into a camera and thought the whole world could see me, I was 4 years old on Romper Room. So we've some of y'all remember that. We've come a long way. And at one time, believe it or not, Facebook was a small business. And we're here to celebrate some small businesses that, who knows, may become the next Facebook. Before we do that, I want to thank the Arlington Chamber. I want to thank Henry and his committee for doing an outstanding job. I'm on the email distribution list for all the meetings, and we're well represented by Rodney Johnson with the Tarrant SBDC. But I know that committee does yeoman's work to get this really, in this pandemic year, such a great event in place so that we can recognize all these small business owners. So let's give Henry and his committee a hand. Well, this is truly one of my favorite events of the year as well. We've heard a lot of challenging stories from small business owners, but as I was meeting some of the winners today, the stories they were telling me were just incredible because not only are they surviving, but they're thriving during this pandemic. And a lot of it is, too, assistance from the SBA, both before, during, and continuing right now. So we really have some incredible small business owners in this room today and people who support small business owners. And I'm really excited to recognize them because they're really doing incredible work in a very challenging time, to say the least. So let's get started with our first award, which goes to our Partner of the Year, Chavoyd Hamilton. If you would like to come up. Chavoyd is accepting the award on behalf of the Fort Worth Business Press. The Fort Worth Business Press has covered SBA and small business stories for many years under the leadership of editor Robert Francis. SBA programs, services, and accomplishments are always highlighted in the Fort Worth Business Press. It is the relationships like these that allow SBA to no longer be the best-kept secret. Our second award goes to the SBDC of the Year. Don Proudfoot, the director, if you want to come on up. The North Texas SBDC at the Dallas College Awards SBDC Field centers this distinguished award for exemplary performance. The SBDC of the Year recipient for 2020 is the Tyler Small Business Development Center. The SBDC of the Year is acknowledged and recognized by the North Texas SBDC and the SBA as an advocate for advancing opportunities for entrepreneurial development. And we'll see one of their success stories later when we recognize one of our award winners. The Tyler SBDC surpassed performance goals, building small businesses, developing the SBDC for success, and serves as a champion for small business. They surpassed performance deliverables by over 180%. They are a critical component to the East Texas ecosystem by assisting in the creation of 45 new businesses and the creation and retention of over 1,000 jobs. Through lender relationships and SBA programs, the Tyler SBDC assisted small businesses with infusing over $14 million into their businesses. Let's big hand for Don. Our next award is for the Veteran Small Business Champion of the Year, VR Small, if you'd like to come up. VR Small is founder of the Veterans Women Enterprise Center in Dallas. VR focuses her energy on developing innovative programs for women's veterans and small business owners by turning visions into realities. VR has testified before a Texas House of Representatives committee to make June 12th Women's Veterans Day in Texas. She serves on numerous advisory committees and boards to support women veteran entrepreneurs. Congratulations, VR. Hussein? Okay. Our next award is for the Minority Small Business Champion of the Year. Hussein Abdullah is CEO of HA Homes in Killeen. Not only is he a client of the McLennan SBDC, but he helps other SBDC clients with technical assistance. He has been able to help minority business owners with improving credit, business structure, and learning how to invest. Hussein is currently a board member of the Central Texas Homeless Coalition and serves as a mentor with the Killeen SBDC. Congratulations. Jim Kaler. Good to see you. Our next award goes to the Financial Service Champion of the Year. Jim Kaler is Credit and Operations Manager at Gulf Coast Bank and Trust in Dallas. Jim has over 25 years of lending experience and is the founding member of the North Texas Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders, INTEGL, which is one of our premier sponsors today. He volunteers as an advisory board member with the North Texas SBDC Network, has helped numerous businesses obtain the capital and assistance to grow and sustain. Congratulations, Jim. Race. Our next award goes to Race Poland. He's the owner of Texoma Tech Solutions in Wichita Falls. The company specializes in mobile device repair and other technical assistance. Ray started his business at the age of 16. He's received assistance from the Midwestern State SBDC for several years. Texoma Tech Solutions went from having just one employee in 2016 to 4 in 2018. Sales increased from $45,000 in 2016 to over $350,000 in 2018. So, congratulations, Race. Our next winner is our family-owned business of the year. Clay Structures in Maybank, Texas is a brick and stone building supplies company. It was started by Dennis Thomas in 1999, where he sold the products and his father made the deliveries. Dennis received assistance from the Trinity Valley SBDC and secured an SBA loan. In 2010, the company had 10 employees and increased to 16 full-time employees. In 2019, sales increased from $7.1 million in 2017 to $8.4 million, and they're having a record year during this year. So big hats off to Dennis for all his hard work and working with the Trinity Valley SBDC. Just as I was talking to Dennis, he said they received a loan back in kind of our last crisis, which was in 2008, from SBA, and said they would not have survived without that loan from SBA, and they received assistance this year. So I think we can all see the value of SBA and what it provides to small business owners. Our next award is the 8A Graduate of the Year. Tracy Lynn Green is president of Tin Man Enterprises in Fort Worth. Tin Man Enterprises perform welding, fabrication, sandblasting, and general repair. Tracy has used SBA loan programs and resource partners to expand her business. Tin Man Enterprises has worked on projects in North Texas, including the Jexa Pavilion, Toyota Music Factory, Live by Lowe's Hotel, and the new Rangers Baseball Stadium, Globe Life Field. Big congratulations. Our next award goes to the Exporter of the Year. Myron Herrera is CEO of Greenlink Networks in Addison, which provides cloud phone systems and other IT services. In 2019, the business received an SBA International Trade Loan for $750,000. Myron is currently exporting to the Dominican Republic with projections to export to Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. Total sales increased from $1.1 million in 2015 to $2.3 million in 2017. And Greenlink Networks is also the Regional Exporter of the Year. So big congratulations to y'all as well. All right, Deb. All right, our big winner here is the Small Business Person of the Year. Deb Luttrell is president of Stitch in Heaven, Inc. in Quitman, Texas. There's a wonderful article about her in Inc. magazine. So if you Google Deb Luttrell and Inc. Tech, and you'll find out more about the quilting business than anything you ever knew. I did not know quilters went on dedicated cruises and had retreats and all these fun things. So it's really a fascinating business. She started the family-owned quilt shop in 1996 and currently runs it with her son, Clay Luttrell, who is her partner in the business. Deborah is a client of the Tyler SBDC and used the SBA 7A loan program to expand her business. Their employees increased from 18 employees in 2016 to 61 in 2020. They are another company having a record year during a global pandemic. She also told me that they are expanding their campus in Quitman, Texas, with a new 67,000 square foot addition. So, Quitman, Texas is about to become Quiltman, Texas, I think, with just a few more changes. So, a huge congratulations to our Small Business Person of the Year, Deb Luttrell. With that, I'll turn it back over to Scott.
Thank you very much. Certainly our congratulations to all of our award recipients today. Well deserved. And we are certainly honored to be here celebrating your accomplishments with each and every one of you. And certainly thank you again to all of our sponsors who made this broadcast possible. As we have said throughout the program, they are our team members that make this all possible every single day, so we thank them all. We appreciate your continued support of small business. Also, thank you to our host here today. How about this place? 1010 Collins Event Center here in Arlington for hosting us today for this fantastic event. And as we wrap things up today, please remember, as we have reminded you many times throughout the day, but it's most important, support those small businesses this coming holiday season. Halloween tomorrow, Thanksgiving coming up next month, Christmas and Hanukkah and what have you coming up the following month. There are so many gifts and experiences available to each and every one of us locally, so let's take advantage of them. Share those with family, friends, and loved ones. Small business, certainly a driving force in our economy, and they deserve and they need our support all of the time. We thank you again for joining us today, and once again, I'm delighted to have had the opportunity to MC this event for I don't know how many years it's been, but it's a labor of love, so thank you so much for the opportunity. Remember to wear a mask, socially distance, and support small business. So until next time, I'm Scott Murray, reminding you all to stay strong, be smart, stay healthy, and stay safe. Thank you very much.
The Spirit of America Salute to Small Business Award celebration for 2020 is brought to you by today's presenting sponsor, the North Texas Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders, and Tegel. Our diamond sponsor is Wells Fargo. Our gold sponsor is Baylor Scott & White Orthopedic and Spine Hospital, Arlington. Today's silver sponsors are the City of Arlington, JP Morgan Chase, PSK, Stripezone, and the University of Texas at Arlington College of Business. Our bronze sponsors are Frost Bank, MEI Group, the Pantego Economic Development Corporation in the town of Pantego, and Simmons Bank. Our event sponsors are the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, the U.S. Small Business Administration, and the North Texas Small Business Development Center. Thank you to each of you for making today's event possible and supporting small businesses in the spirit of America.